Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Pony 411. This is episode 310 for the month of June 2021, specifically June 8th. I am Nemesis, and I am joined by Alca7raz.
Hello.
Yes, pony stuff. Yes, I think we're going to go back to monthly after this point because there's not really a whole lot of new extensive stuff to talk about. There's still new stuff, but not enough to carry a whole episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're just doing this to kind of get back to at least at the start of the month, we'll bring out a new episode or something. So we're going to do that. And yeah, so you won't see us hear from us again really until July, unless something really crazy big happens or something like that.
If something really, really big comes in, we'll drop an episode on that.
Yeah, but anyway, we got, of course, an episode right now. Of course, we have the news. We have a couple comics to talk about, and we are going to go ahead and talk about an old episode of the show. And, well, one little thing in fan content, that's pretty much it for that one, that section. One little thing. One small thing. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and get started with the news, I guess. Because I can't really think of anything to really say, I guess, other than we're now recording in person again.
Yay!
On this show, because, yeah, last time we were still separate, because we had to be, because, yeah, had to wait, but we're pretty much good to go for recording in the same place again. That's that. News, though, if you want to follow along with it, go to pony411.libsyn.com/show notes. It's spelled LABSON. You can click on those links. All the episodes are there with the newest at the top. And you can click on that and see all the see all the news links and then check those for more details. Because we want to do this kind of quick. We don't want to go too long on this. In convention news, Everfree Northwest has announced they are doing an in-person convention in August, although with some caveats. Because yes, I guess they're going to do an in-person version this time. Again, assuming nothing goes dreadfully wrong between now and August, because Washington State is planning on having more or less be reopened fully by the end of this month, I believe. And the thing is, yes, those caveats are things like anyone who is not vaccinated will have to wear a mask in public spaces. They believe that you can, if you are vaccinated, like we are, you can bring proof of vaccination. They'll give you a little thing to, I guess, show that you do not need a mask. And there'll also be the thing, unfortunately, that many of the VIP guests, I believe actually maybe all of them, will not be able to attend because the U.S.-Canada border is at this point still closed. So that means Nicole Oliver, Tabitha St. Germain, Matt Colrick, William Milner, Sam Vincent, Scott McNeil, Chiara Zani, and Ashley Ball will not be attending, at least not in person. They may or may not be doing some sort of remote or virtual thing of some sort. Who knows how that's going to go down? They're gonna keep people updated, and also they're apparently planning on announcing new VIP guests who can attend in August. They're also, because of the special circumstances, they are offering until I believe June 30th. That's important. That's in less than a month. They are planning on offering full refunds of any badge type or rollover till 2022. No questions asked if you just aren't comfortable or unable to attend for various reasons. So there you go. That's Everfree. It's kind of happening probably if everything's going the way it is. It's likely going to be the first in-person pony convention for a while in a long time. It's back on, I guess. Fandom news. Hasbro did a rainbow corporatism, aka they just kind of posted one little picture on Instagram and like, that's good enough for the month, right? Yep. Okay. Yep. And it just says every pony with the whole some pride flag colors on there, and that's pretty much all they're going to do because they're not going to actually dare to put anything in the show. Probably
not blatantly.
Nothing blatant, and there's definitely nothing connected to the main characters because nope, that's too controversial.
It would be awesome if they proved us wrong, though.
Yeah, it'd be nice, but
it'd be nice.
I have doubts. They're trying too hard to get into China and all.
Yeah,
China's government is very hostile to the LGBT.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the direct show staff that are working on the episode the show would love to.
Oh yes,
but it's likely. If it doesn't happen, it's an executive thing.
Remember, this is only for a month anyway, but back in July, back to normal.
Yeah. Rainbow capitalism.
Why did we not support you earlier? Do not ask questions, homosexual. Just consume product.
Yep. Yep.
Anyway, merchandise news. Speaking of consuming products, the Smashin' Fashion Royal Premiere set has been revealed. This is a G4 set, and it is more or less the new the Pony Life style. And it's got Luna, who did not appear in the show, Shining, who did, Cadence, who did, and I think that's supposed to be Celestia. Doesn't look like it because the hair's all weird.
Hair is kind of weird.
That's supposed to be Celestia.
Yeah.
And it looks like they also got a weird, possibly either hyper glossy or metallic finish. I'm not sure.
Luna does not appear in this.
Yeah, and neither did Sunset, even though she got a toy. It's weird when you think about every single Pony Life character. Well, not every single Pony Life character. Every single one of the toys they made in the Pony Life style appeared in the show, except for Sunset and now Luna.
Huh.
Which is interesting. That's disappointing, too. I wanted to see Sunset's knife.
Smashin' Fashion.
Anyway. New G5 merch, plushies, puzzles, costumes. Those are things, yes. There's new plushies that have been revealed by, who was it? Just Play. Yeah, they're spotted and now they're actually listing them on a Spanish website. And see, we got some details too. 25 centimeters tall, which is about 10 inches. And they have embroidered eyes, glittery hooves, and nice brushable hair, as they say. The character's available with Easy Moonbow, Sunny Star Scout, Pip Petals, and Zip Storm, so no hitch.
Embroidered eyes is really good. It looks like cutie marks are also embroidered. Brushable hair.
Oh, and Sunny even comes with their little pins and stuff.
Yeah.
That's nice.
The glitter hooves worries me because, like...
Glitter.
Now,
it's that kind. I see what it is. It's
see
not
that,
really glitter.
Yeah, so it's probably fine. It's just... everyone has bad experience with glitter just coming off and getting in everything.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I just bought a used Transformer, had glitter and some little crevices here and there. There's also the costumes there, of course, for children. So if you're adult sized, you're not going to wear them. And no matter how much you try, if you're adult sized, so don't even. Yeah, my understanding is actually, I think I saw a picture of some of these costumes, and like, I think one of them is basically just a dress with the picture of the pony on it, which is like, okay, that's I guess a costume.
I've seen those.
That sure is technically a costume.
Yeah.
In the puzzle, which, yeah, it's a puzzle, but the thing about this puzzle also shows possible backgrounds of the, towns and stuff, so we might actually be seeing, setting stuff, which, if that's the case, not bad.
Yep.
Yeah, if those settings are correct, it doesn't look too bad. One of them looks more like concept art, but...
Yeah, it looks like it was just composited over
one
top
of them is concept art,
picture.
but the other one actually looks like it actually might be a setting from the...
Could be.
Movie, I guess. I was going to say show, but it's like, not show yet.
It's not a show yet. Not yet.
Well, it is. It's just we haven't seen
it will
be. The show yet.
It will be.
And new books have been listed, a mix of G4 and G5, most of them being G5. Looks like for very young readers, basically because it says I can read comics level 1. That's for like 4 or 5 year olds.
Yep.
But there's also the My Little Pony Annual 2022 hardcover coming on September, which is, looks like G4, and it's activities, and whatnot, I guess. And also apparently also has G5 stuff in it as well.
Huh.
Yeah, movies, and then something movie Sunny Star Scout mix and make. I'm not sure what the heck that is. Might be some sort of like paper doll set,
maybe
where you just kind of can
could be
mix and
could
match.
be. There's not much details on that one out yet.
And final bit of merchandise news: Series 2 of the Mighty Jax Hidden Dissectables has been revealed. This is the things with the weird X-ray ponies.
Yep.
You remember those? Which I believe are now actually more widely available, so you don't have to order those obscene shipping charges from what was it, Indonesia? I want to say
something like that.
Yeah, and the Series 2 has stuff like Cheerilee and Big Mac and Granny Smith and Trixie and who was that? No, someone else. And Unicorn Twilight. If you're some sort of Season 1 purist. And it looks like also the Cutie Mark Crusaders and a Rainbow Dash, like literal Rainbow Dash.
Yeah. Derpy's there too.
Yeah, it looks like it's 2 per stand. It's like when you get, so basically you get Sweetie Belle and Scootaloo or Spike and Apple Bloom.
Yep.
So there's that. And comic news, the My Little Pony Omnibus Volume 7 has been revealed coming January 18th, 2022. I'm trying to remember which issues it covers, if it even said so. But yeah, it covered some issues. Oh, yeah, 79 through 88. And the retailer incentive cover for the Magic of Cybertron number 3 has been revealed. And this one is, ponies playing with Transformer toys. including Twilight having a Unicron, so I guess she was a backer like I was. It's almost $600 on this big, huge chunk of plastic, which, again, as I said many times, you don't really understand how big it is until you see it in person, right?
It's huge. Thing is absolutely huge.
It might actually be bigger than a little pony.
Maybe.
I'm curious where the heck Pinky got that RC there. That looks close. I suspect that RC art is based on the masterpiece somewhat, although with some odd proportions. And the Megatron looks like it's based on the red figure, which doesn't transform. And then that's a very interesting Starscream. Yep. Optimus looks a little weird too. Yes, I am criticizing how they drew the toys because they did it wrong. Do I remember something about you going off about the comic last time with Dash and the wrong colored hair or something, or is that just me?
That was just you.
Right. There's definitely no proof that you did that.
Nope, and I'm not gonna. I would never have done that, and I would never do it again.
Anyway, G5 news, Hitch news, kind of, because kind of news says a lot of this stuff. He's a sheriff, not surprising. Like I said, he's a cop.
Yep. And
they showed his cutie mark in detail, so if you needed a big, huge, real clear image of it, there you go. And so, someone was like, it's a hoof print, which shows you exactly where you need to kick. And someone else says, I hope they're being unironic because it's correct, which is he's got 2 strikes against him now. He's a male and he's a cop.
Once again,
kind of joking. Well, he's on the male part, but still. Yeah, he's a cop. So like I said, I went on about it too. And I think you're trying to get me to stop.
I was.
You're trying to get me to. No.
Reel it in.
Calm down.
Reel it in.
Never. I will never fight the power. Yeah. So anyway, Hitch confirmed for worst character. Emilo did a panel on designing the G5 ponies, and Equestria Daily has a bit of a summary.
Yep.
Yeah, just basically just little tidbits about how she came about, how she designed them, what the process was. Basically, I was also sorry I can't talk about that because NDAs and et cetera. But yeah, little things. So if you're interested in any of the behind the scenes stuff, how the sausage is made, you can go check that out.
How the sausage is made.
Yep.
It's usually not something you want to know.
No, it's actually kind of fascinating.
Depends on the kind of person you are.
I don't get affected by that.
Yeah.
It's like people, like what was it? People that I see the news thing about the blah 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 kind of food. I'm like, no, I really want that.
Yep.
Subway tuna might actually not be tuna. I want a tuna sandwich.
I was things like worried that the beef at Taco Bell might not be entirely beef, and it's like,
oh well,
it's Taco Bell. You actually expected it to be beef in the first place? You don't go there to eat good food. You go there to eat garbage.
Yeah, pretty much. Final bit of news. Boulder Media's website calls the movie My Little Pony A New Generation, which confirms the Malaysian title seemingly, at least at this point.
So close in name. So do you prefer My Little Pony, the original series, or the Next Generation?
Oh, boy. That just kind of leaves out G4, though, entirely. If you think about it,
it does, because you have to figure out what you define as
the original
what.
Series. The original series is the '80s one.
You would probably have to do that. And that would also leave
Ponytails,
out
which is kind of an extension to G1.
Yeah,
and then you have, of course, the direct-to-DVD things that we don't like to talk about because we did once, and that was horrifying. And I've seen people unironically try to defend them. Like, no, stop! I watched them. They're bad.
Great.
Don't try to tell me you just haven't watched them. No, I did. I did. They're bad. One of them almost was actually almost decent, but still managed to not be. Anyway, that's the news. Yeah, so we might actually have a real title for the movie.
Yep. A new generation.
Not the best title, mind you, but hey. Actually, yeah, because honestly, I don't think that title's the best one they could have done, but hey, I guess it gets to the point of like, yeah, this is still a continuation of G4 just with new ponies.
Yep.
That's what they call it. This is basically the same world as G4, but with new ponies. That's what the subtitle should be.
Oh man, it's like
It's like those manga which just have those really, really long names.
I love
tell
stuff
you
like
very
that.
specifically what this is.
I was like, I've seen those in like VR chat worlds where the name of the VR chat world is just like a paragraph long and it doesn't even fit on the screen.
Well, the problem with that is like FimFiction, when they do that, there's no word wrap or anything, so it just just breaks the formatting.
There isn't any in VR chat, so you open up your menu and it's like off to the distance. It's great. I love it. It's great.
Anyway, so that was the news. Going to move on to our discussion topics, the first of which are a couple comics. Magic of Cybertron #2 actually came out a couple weeks ago. And yeah, of course, is a continuation of the Transformers crossover. This one was written by, where is that? Let's see, you got 2 stories. One was written by Ian Flynn with art part by Priscilla Tramontano.
Montano. Yeah.
And colors by Joanna Lafuente. And letterer Jake M. Wood. And One Trick Pony is writer Sam Maggs with artist is Trish Forstner. And colors Luis Antonio Delgado. And letterer Neil Uitake.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's the 2 stories once again as usual, and you got, of course, the first one, which is Dash, the Wonderbolts, and the Seekers. Seekers are Starscream, Thundercracker, and Skywarp, by the way. Just an FYI on that. But yeah, they have to go together to all try to defeat some of Sombra's mind-controlled ponies and robots, and bit of a clash of style, shall we say, because, the Seekers are Decepticons after all. So it's kind of a tense alliance, and Starscream's ego is, the only thing that's bigger than Dash's, surprisingly. And yeah, so they'll end up working together and doing some stuff to we're able to, because Starscream's just going to go shoot them because that's easy, but no, we're supposed to get them alive, keep them alive, so we have more foot soldiers and whatnot. And anyway, they succeed. And
yep.
And this one is actually, it's fun because it's the whole thing, Dash versus Starscream kind of, except them at least talking to each other. It was very fun. Starscream is always a fun character in Transformers because it's just the way, it's just this traitorous kind of stupid guy. Just so full of himself, he actually genuinely believes he is the best guy in the world.
Yep.
And he's not. He's a coward.
And push comes to shove, he backs out.
Yeah, in some continuity, he's smart. Actually, he is genuinely smart, but he's still in the end a coward who doesn't have the actual wherewithal to be a leader. Yeah, just indignity, insolence, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also just like seeing all the Transformers in the thing. I've seen Jazz and Ironhide, Hound, Motormaster, Brawl, Swindle. Yeah, it's just and then there's the ponies, which I don't know any of them.
Right. So, at least 3 of them. You should. At least 3.
I'm talking about the mind-controlled ones.
Oh, the mind-controlled ones. Yeah.
Those look like just generic ponies, I think.
A lot of them, I think they're just generics.
Which is funny to me. It's like they just made generic ponies and then actual named characters from Transformers. I just find that funny.
Yeah.
It kind of tells you, I think, the artist, which way the artist usually works on.
Yeah.
It was a fun little story. It's, again, it much more leans into the kind of the goofiness of it, just with, again, Dash and Starscream arguing with each other. And then, of course, the other Seekers, of course, because they gotta, of course, bust Starscream's chops a bit. Because, of course, that's what you do.
That's what you do.
So it was fun.
Yeah. They got Dash's hair colors right. Except for some reason, they have this weird blue outline that sometimes disappears between the colors.
Outline that disappears.
Yeah. That I don't understand. There's not supposed to be an outline.
I don't know. It might just be a weird comic thing. I'm not sure.
I don't know. It's not there on the other ones.
But the other story, One Trick Pony, it's where Applejack going through rust wastelands, which looks a lot like a desert but it's rust because it's Cybertron, and Cybertron's doesn't have organic stuff.
Yep. Yep.
And she meets another cowboy, except it's Wild Wheel, who's basically get off my property. And Applejack's listen, I'm just trying to pass through. don't care. But then they, of course, develop respect for each other when they see each other's skills. This one's kind of fun just because it's a good old Wild West showdown.
Yeah.
It's fun because of that. It's, again, Applejack's actually, pretty well written in here, everything. I do like the Quick Strike cameo, which is, it's fun. And like, oh, no, it's Skids. Oh, once again, Skids, you barely do anything again. Oh, Skids, you don't know this, but Skids as a character, it's basically, the thing is, he is often overlooked because he didn't do anything for a long time. In G1, his toy barely came out and was kind of this one thing that, oh yeah, that one.
Oh yeah.
And then on top of that, in the cartoon, he was in like literally 3 episodes ever, and not even that long. I think I think someone actually timed out. He has literally less than 2 minutes of screen time over the course of the entire original G1 series. So it's like, yeah, he wasn't really important. And now he's getting a Masterpiece toy this year, so go figure. Why? Because the Honda City, the car he was based on, is a big deal in Japan, and yeah. And that's having its like 40th anniversary or something. So of course, they're doing this big old thing mostly because of the Honda City part, not necessarily because of Skids.
Yeah.
Who cares about Skids?
Who cares about it?
Other thing about the Honda City, because Honda City was a big deal in Japan and everything. And also one of the cool things about it was they actually came with a little motorized scooter thing that you put in the back and then you could take out and just go ride it around. It folded up and everything. It transformed essentially from a little box to a scooter. Yeah, so it's a cool little car.
Neat.
Anyway, yeah, this is that was my little off-topic thing. That was even for Transformers, it was very off-topic. Kind of. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, Applejack and Wild Wheel here are pretty fun. Yeah. Actually, this was a guy I think I talked about this guy a bit last time with the Transformers and My Little Pony crossover. The last one, I think I talked about this guy briefly because I just talked about how cool we see Applejack talk to him or something like that.
Yeah, and now you did.
I forgot to get the toy. Now the toy's going up in price because of course it is.
Of course it is.
Because, well, he is a cowboy robot. It is kind of one of those, like, okay, yeah, I kind of have to have this thing. But yeah, it's definitely still, overall, this comic is still a really fun one. And, yeah.
Yep, it's fun.
It's just fun. It's a fun, goofy nonsense and whatnot. And, yeah, it's like, yeah, if you really think about a robot cowboy and everything, including having metallic, like, a poncho is just ridiculous, but you don't really question it because why not? It's just there. It's funny.
Yep.
He even has little spurs and everything.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
completely
really
pointless, but it's great.
I like it. I really like. Yeah, this was fun, and that's how it all has to be.
Yep.
So yeah, I guess we'll move on to the other issue, which is a more normal thing. I guess issue 98 of the main line, aka episode 10 of season 10. 10-10-98. Remember those? 10-10-3-2-1? That phone number thing?
I don't remember that, but it sounds vaguely familiar, but I can't place it.
Thing. Anyway, this one was, let's see, written by Celeste Bronfen. Art by Akeem S. Roberts and colors by Heather Breckel. Anyway, so this one is Celestia and Luna have they found, Luna finds an old picture of, her and her sister as younger with their little dolls and everything, and Dash and Fluttershy are there because reasons.
Twilight found it and they brought it.
Yeah, because reasons.
Well, Dash and Fluttershy are the one who brought the picture after
because
Twilight
reasons.
found it, so that's your reasons.
I don't know why Twilight just couldn't teleport to Cantaloupe.
She's busy? I don't know.
I
don't know. Don't question it.
Shoals. Do not question.
Do not question. Just consume comic.
Anyway, Luna, apparently Celestia is actually a little upset about it because of the doll thing. Apparently it's connected to when they were back on a boat way back when they're kids and they lost the dolls because a Kraken attacked the ship. And Celestia's kind of, get a bit of a mild, I don't want to actually always say, but a PTSD of sorts. It's very mild.
Yeah.
But yeah,
she's still hurt and upset about it.
Yeah, about the Kraken just randomly attacking them. How dare the Kraken? And anyway,
she
Luna's
has a grudge.
Yeah. So Luna's like, hey, we should go get the dolls back. And like, Celestia's resistant until Luna's like, yeah, I'm just going to go all alone anyway. So if you want me to be safe, you better come with me. So they go and the whole look, the Kraken's there. And yeah, and then it turns out there's some misunderstandings and everything gets a happy ending, essentially.
Yep.
This one's weird. It's it feels like Celestia's kind of out of character, all things considered.
It does feel like she's kind of out of character.
Celestia's often the one who tends to see the best in, I guess, everyone, for the most part, and so it's for her to hold this random grudge against some random monster like this just feels really odd for her.
The only way I can excuse it is because it happened when she was very, very little. So maybe it's just one of those
childhood traumatic experience.
Exactly. It happened before she had the wherewithal to see the better, and so now that it's ingrained.
Her one blind spot.
Yeah, and so then it became ingrained as a child. So when she developed the I guess, more maturity, that one never fixed because she never had to address it until now.
Luna's also a little weird too. Sometimes it feels because it's also the thing. It's like weird, like because remember if I recall the show was more established. Celestia was kind of the adrenaline junkie,
right?
So it's kind of weird that she's the one who has to be convinced to go swimming and stuff. It's like it's a weird thing. It just feels a little odd. It's one of those things where they try to introduce a new personality character aspect and like doesn't quite line up with previously established character aspects.
A little bit, yeah.
So it's a little weird on that front, and also kind of on top of that, it's like a little anticlimactic in a way.
It is, but you know what it isn't?
What?
It isn't another freaking tree episode.
Yeah, that's the one thing it's got going for sure. It's just...
it's something different.
Yeah. Also, on top of that, some of the artwork looks a little... I don't know, sometimes the way Celestia and Luna are drawn, it sometimes looks a little off. It's hard to explain, but sometimes it's just like, what? Why it feels like sometimes their heads are just kind of squished, and like when you look on them head on, looks like they kind of were squished a little bit in each way. It's also kind of predictable. It's like, oh, it's not what you think it is. Turns out because
yeah.
Also, it's amazing those dolls lasted all those years.
That's the one.
How old are those now? In salt water?
Yeah,
those dolls would be long gone.
Also, sometimes they have really long necks.
Yeah, there's that again. Long necks.
Swan Lestia.
Yeah. See, it's a bit weird. It's kind of a weird one. I want to say it's bad, but it is kind of just odd.
Yeah, it's different. Definitely.
Yeah, it's different. I'm not sure if it's a good kind of different though, because again, it's just you get to.
I didn't mind it. It was.
Yeah, it's not outright bad. It's just kind of weird.
Yeah, I like it especially for its just change of pace.
And also not involve that ridiculous plot we're dealing with.
A repeat
10.
of that. Yeah, which
also this is kind of weird. It's like also Dash read the room at the beginning. Tell us the story. Tell us the story. Tell us the story.
That tracks though. That kind of tracks. Although she does figure it out in the end.
Yeah, it's just
when Flutter's like, no, I have to, like, no, that's not gonna work.
Dash is all like, oh, I want to know the story. We know Celestia's crying, and it's like Dash is like, just big old stupid smiles. Celestia's crying. He's like,
great.
Dash,
That's great.
Dash. Oh yeah, the other thing was Fluttershy, but Kraken are peaceful creatures, and they never hurt any pony. And it's like Celestia's just they're monsters. And so then Flutter's like, oh no, I've made Celestia feel hurt. Blah. It's weird. It's just like, they try to establish this thing, and I don't know. It's fine, but
it's fine.
It's got weird things. It's just its big selling point is just simply it's not another dumb tree episode.
Not another tree thing.
Episode. You can call it episodes in this case.
Yes, you can. They call them episodes, so we can too.
Ha. They're wrong, so we can be too. Yeah, that's it for the comics. Yep. That was a bit rambly, but sometimes that happens when you kind of figure out what the heck to say about it because it's weird. Or you just go on a weird tangent about Honda cities.
Nerd.
Anyway, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next topic, which is putting your hoof down. So in this episode... It starts off with Fluttershy, just kind of taking care of animals. Of course, Angel's being a little jerk again and refuses to eat unless she makes him a very specific meal. And of course, she can't say no because she's Fluttershy and she has to go into town. And she winds up becoming a doormat because that's who she is. And Rarity and Pinkie try to help her, except, of course, Fluttershy is bad. And then she goes to a seminar from Iron Will where he takes her to be assertive. And then she takes it too far and becomes a huge jerk, including outright insulting Rarity and Pinkie. And eventually, she kind of learns that she kind of doesn't have to be that assertive, and then she refuses to pay Iron Will because she wasn't satisfied, and that's the end.
Yep.
This is actually one of the Fluttershy once again learns to be assertive episodes, of which there were many. Obviously, you have commented on many
I've
commented
times.
on, the fandom has commented on. Then show itself kind of commented back about that criticism, and yeah, and didn't quite do a very good job because the count. Then there was a counter to that counter. Yeah, it takes a lot of time. It takes people many times to learn something. You don't just learn something in one time. Yeah, but that's real life, not a TV show. On TV show, you just do it once because otherwise it becomes repetitive.
Sometimes depends on how you do it, but yes.
Yeah, you shouldn't just repeat the same storyline over and over again.
Seems to be a sticking point here, doesn't it?
Yes. Yeah, so this one has, of course, this is the one that introduced Iron Will, and honestly, Iron Will's a great character. He's only used this time and the one other time with Twilight on the airship.
Yep.
No, which episode? That was way back when we did that in episode 200. I remember that distinctly because that was also the episode we did the movie on.
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird one. It's actually, because again, it's as an episode, it's actually really solid. In fact, a really fun one.
Yes, it is.
But it does have that criticism of, yes, it is kind of a repeat of a storyline we've seen a couple times. I believe this might have been the second or third time we kind of saw this sort of story with Fluttershy.
Yeah, being season 2, it was probably me. I want to say it's the second, but
there might have been another one before this. I'm not sure. But yeah, they also did this one because there was also, I guess, Philly Vanilli kind of. But yeah, a lot of them are just kind of, Fluttershy learns to stop being so shy. Anyway, yeah, the whole thing was the assertive seminar was like a lot of those. You see that the self-help seminars you see are kind of self-help.
Yeah,
you see that, and of course, he even has the guarantee of like if you're not 100% satisfied, you pay nothing,
or you get, or the money return kind of a thing. Yeah. Either way, same thing.
So yeah, Iron Will is just every single scene he's in is great because he's just this weirdly macho guy, and yet he's at the same time. He's not a bad guy. A lot of people would frame him as antagonist, and that's what the later episode with him did.
Yeah, but he doesn't really qualify as an antagonist all that much. It's
in the later episode, he's more overtly kind of bad.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, he's just
malicious, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's not malicious here at all.
Yeah, he just
does his thing.
He's like, hey, he's got a bit of a jerk, and that his assertiveness is a little too far. A bit too far, but hey, because this whole, someone blocks so that you rock, and that's the other thing is rhymes.
Yep, he loves his.
It is good for, memory.
Yep, rhyming does help. Mnemonic devices.
Yep, and it's just, but yeah, it's just kind of funny that that's largely he's not that much of an antagonist or anything, but if anything, Fluttershy becomes the antagonist.
Yeah, she kind of does. I think that is kind of the point.
Yep. She took her assertiveness too far, was the point.
She became the monster.
Yep. As everyone kept calling Iron Will a monster, it's like he's a minotaur, not a monster.
Not a monster.
This is the goat.
You're not a monster. You're just stupid.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Of course, the goat helpers.
Yep, the goat helpers.
Who don't talk. But they have, we don't hear them talk, but it's clear they're talking to Iron Will somehow, and to each other, because they got little headsets.
Yeah, they have headsets, and the only noises you hear them make are goat noises.
Yeah. But of course, you always heard Fluttershy make goat noises.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of interesting. But I think obviously this is just because it's 22 minutes, but it's just kind of interesting how quickly Fluttershy, I guess, devolved into just angry jerk.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the problem was, I guess, we got a positive reinforcement loop.
Yep.
She's assertive. Oh, she got good results. Okay, I'll be assertive again. Then she keeps pushing it further and further because it's working, so I'm just going to keep going. And then, oh dear, until suddenly it was negative when she realized, oh, I just hurt my friends real bad.
Yep. Yeah. I think, I had forgotten just how far it goes.
Oh, yeah.
How far it went.
Insults Pinky and Rarity and basically says they're wasting their lives.
Yeah.
Which, geez.
Holy crap. I totally forgot just that it went that far. Don't give a flying feather. Wow. I think they really tested their limits on what executives were going to let them go with on that.
Yep. There's a lot of little things. It was like, wow, they actually pushed it.
And then they got away with it.
Yeah. I'm shaking her hoof. Beating up a guy who took grab. She called for a taxi. Other guy takes it. This is a very common problem in many cities I've heard.
Yeah.
Call for a taxi and someone else takes it because, so I look a taxi, cool.
Yep.
She goes and beats him up.
Just jumps in, beats him up, and tosses him out.
Yeah, throwing a guy who's just asking for directions, throwing him into a hay bale.
Yeah.
Or hay pile.
Yeah, all because, and that wasn't even his fault.
Nope,
It's
she started talking and forgot a letter was in her mouth.
Yeah, that's your fault, Fluttershy.
Don't you just use the wing hand thing?
Yeah, the wing hand.
Can't come up with a concept yet.
Yeah, I specifically remember at one of the conventions, one of the staff that did that, specifically, like every episode that they were in charge of, you were going to see wing hands because that was just that's how they solved it. Wing hands.
Wing hands. Woo!
It's so useful.
Yeah. The thing about it is, like, you got, again, Fluttershy she evolves really fast, and it is kind of weird to see that. And then the whole thing was like, she tells one pony who did cut in front of the line to, get back to the line, and they do, and then everyone else also goes behind her because
they're terrified suddenly.
And it's like, she didn't say anything, just out of like, okay.
She kind of glared, and that was it.
I promise I'll just sit in my house here first anyway. So.
Yeah.
I'm where I belong. Yeah, those weird things. And also her misinterpreting like Pinky laughing about stuff. And then
that was a bit weird.
Then again, you kind of get that where a lot of people who are like this do interpret everything as a challenge or an insult or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where that's usually tends to be a very macho thing, which Fluttershy is not.
Yeah, it was that tends to be like a seen with macho people who are actually kind of insecure, and that's why they do all that. To be macho is to try and fend off that insecurity. Mm-hmm. So that's why they see any sort of laughing. Oh, they must be attacking, so I have to do... Yeah, which does not qualify for Fluttershy, so it is a bit odd to see it.
Yeah. Let's see. Or it's a male pony. That's another one is like the male pony who's pretty much just blind and really probably needs better glasses. Yeah,
that was just... And I think that was the thing, is they were doing that to show that she was going well beyond...
Oh, yeah.
Because it starts out, she's just standing up for people who are being jerks, people who are just dismissing her or jumping in front of her or whatnot.
Let the professional work.
Let the professional do it. It's like, yeah, that
my garden is flooded because you will not stop watering my flowers.
Yep, and that's, that person was being a jerk to Fluttershy. And then the person who cuts in front of her. But then she starts, like, people who just made simple mistakes.
Yeah. Or did nothing wrong.
She starts taking it farther and farther.
Yeah, and then her friends call her out, and then she insults her friends, and then she realizes, oh no, I'm the monster.
I'm the monster.
And of course, she locks herself in her house, boards it up, and then has Angel tie her up in the chair, and
which is a bit odd unto itself, but whatever.
Sure. I guess if you're into that.
Yeah.
But the other thing, of course, this gave us the good old Looney Tunes stuff of like the rabbit season, duck season.
Rabbit season, yeah, Pinky's 1 bit, 2 bits. 1 bit, 2 bits, 2 bits, 1 bit.
That's my, all right, 1 bit.
All right.
Wait.
She pulled that off twice.
Yeah. Half day, 1 day, half day, 1 day.
Yep.
It was great. And also some fun little animation bits with like again Pinky and Rarity. Which the other thing was Pinky and Rarity kind of being paired off like this was like, and at the time people were like, what? And it kind of makes sense. I mean, you kind of want to make sure this show that they're all friends and stuff. Also, this was right after shortly after the episode where Pinky and Rarity were stuck in the desert because of Rainbow Dash. So it's like you could argue, okay, yeah, that was the thing, common thing, which this is where that's where they bonded finally.
Yeah,
that was a very common fanon. I think still is. That's where they bonded. Was, well, what else are you gonna do?
What else are you gonna do?
You're stuck in the desert with one other person. One of two things are gonna happen. Either you're gonna bond or you're gonna kill each other.
Yep. One of the other things that this did, and it happened multiple times throughout the show, it goes to show just how horrible of a creature Angel is.
Oh yeah, he's awful.
He is absolutely, like, it shows some of the worst of the, like, abusive relationships.
Yep.
And it's like disturbing at times how it does it. It's like, yeesh.
Yeah. The thing about that, also the other thing about Iron Will and stuff, the other stuff, I was thinking animation stuff was great. And Iron Will also just said some really funny bits, like just him on the stage with everything, the fireworks, and just kind of him posing and stuff. And then later on, like
the not quite Eye of the Tiger music.
The almost Eye of the Tiger. And then you got the stuff like him doing the kind of like talking and just kind of posing and doing that weird like the little running pose thing.
Yeah, he does that. I was up on, yeah.
He does that towards the end. There's also the little thumbs up and look at the camera, and the rarity people are like,
"Who are you looking at?
There's no camera there." Like that one vine. I remember that vine. What are you looking at? There's no camera.
A little bit of fourth wall breaking there.
The thing was also really nice animation when he's actually walking. There's a really nice bit of animation there.
Yeah, you can see the swagger that he has.
Yep.
And then there was also the Pinky weird one with Pinky after he does the one day, half day, one day. Yep. And like, okay, and then just kind of walks on the sky.
Walks in the air. Wait.
Because it's Pinky.
Yeah. And the other bit of fancy animation was in the house when Fluttershy's tied up. There's a pan. It's like, whoa.
Yep, there with the whole parallax and everything. I think that was, if I remember correctly, that was when it first came. That was a standout animation moment for the show.
That's hard to do in Flash.
Yeah, and it was one of those that really, really showed that they're really learning their tools and getting Flash to do more and more things.
And then refuse to upgrade it at all because what if it breaks of all the custom crap we've made at this point.
Yeah, it's always a fun one.
Yeah, you customize it and then they've updated and everything's broken now.
Yeah.
That a lot. Update Firefox. Oh, everything just broke.
Yeah.
Update Beat Saber. Well, all my mods just broke.
I was literally about to say that. I'm still waiting on at least 3 mods to
everything just broke and I hate it.
Yep.
So they don't just we're just going to use this really old version of Flash that's been heavily modified because otherwise it might break and then we can't do the show anymore.
And it's fine because it's Flash, not Flash Player.
Exactly.
Actually, don't ever use Flash Player. It's dead now. Stop using it.
Probably can't use it anymore.
There are ways. There are ways, and it's important for like archiving those like the old Flash games. It's the only way to keep those around. But yeah.
But at least Flash is dead.
Yep.
Was it worth it?
Was it worth it?
What did it cost?
Everything.
Yeah, so
we're a bit off topic now, I guess.
Not that bad. But yeah, it was a nice one. You know, I got a nice little dynamic between Pinky, Rarity, and Fluttershy. Fluttershy kind of acting a little weird.
Yeah.
Kind of in a fun, somewhat. Most of it's actually kind of funny, but then she starts crossing a line.
Mm-hmm.
But Iron Will's a great character, and I kind of wish they used him more. But yeah, and then the next time they used him, I wouldn't say unfortunately, but they definitely kind of adjusted his role for that second episode.
I'm trying to remember the voice actor. Was that Trevor? The voice actor for Iron Will. I'm trying to remember who that was. Voice. Yes, it was Trevor Duvall. I was right.
Okay.
Did a great job.
Yeah. Yeah, this also was Meriwether Williams and Charlotte Fullerton were the writers on this because it was one of those things. Story by and written by.
Yep, they both worked on it. It was one of the Meriwether. Yeah. I know Meriwether got a lot of flack for different ones.
Oh yeah.
She wrote some good ones and then wrote some ones that people really didn't like.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, because Meriwether Williams wrote Mysterious Marriage.
She wrote Mysterious Marriage well.
Yeah.
It wasn't great. Hearthwarming Eve, which was actually pretty good.
Dragon Quest, which was, yeah. That was one I remember that was not well received initially, and I was like, I don't get the problem.
She wrote Wonderbolt's Academy.
Yep.
But she also wrote Spike at Your Service, except that was a story by Dave Polsky.
But she still wrote it.
Yeah. So it's like kind of a mixed bag.
Yeah, I think her last season was season 4 before she was gone. For I'll call season 4 or 5.
Bats, that was a good one.
That was a weird one.
It was kind of weird, but it was alright.
I think that was one that was like we were all like, I guess it's fine.
Stop the bats.
Yeah. It was fine. It's still fun. It's still a good episode. It's the only problem, honestly, the only real criticism I throw is that maybe the Fluttershy's devolution is a little fast. But again, it's kind of you got to do it in 22 minutes.
You only have so long to do it.
And the other thing is, it is another Fluttershy learns to be assertive, but the lesson doesn't seem to stick.
Right. On that note, though, I will ask, out of all of those episodes that dealt with Fluttershy has to learn to be assertive, how did this one compare to all of them?
Better than most of those.
Yeah, so this was probably one of the best ones of those.
Yeah. Dragon Shy was good too, but I think this one's better just because I think it's funnier.
Yeah, this one also is, well, I guess both of them are somewhat central, but Dragon Shy has got more going on than just Fluttershy learns to be assertive. That's the key point in it, but there's also other things going on where in this one that is the thing.
Yeah.
It's solely based around that.
Yeah. So yeah, still fun. Still really liked. It was fun to revisit this one for sure.
Oh yeah.
Again, forgot just how hard it went with Fluttershy just insulting Rarity and Pinkie just outright.
Yeah, I totally forgotten how hard it went.
That's the other thing. Yeah, the other thing is possibly she went so hard so fast. It's like, what?
Yeah, and that's like you said earlier. It's probably just because you only have so much time in the episode.
Yeah. Well, not so much. This one's my time, but just how far she went too.
Right.
It's weird too because earlier in the episode we see like she doesn't really register what she's doing. Like she pushes over that punch bowl after getting mad at Pinkie for laughing, and then she goes, "Bye, girls." Like nothing's wrong. It's like, wow, she really doesn't fully understand what she's doing, does she?
Yeah.
And then the whole thing about no weird now talking in the third person, calling himself New Fluttershy, and it's like, who do you think you are?
New
Trixie?
Fluttershy.
Do you think you're Trixie or something? Because that's not someone you should be emulating.
Yeah.
At all. Don't emulate Trixie.
Don't.
That's a bad idea.
It's a bad idea. Very bad idea.
Only Trixie thinks that's a good idea, and yesterday I tell you everything right there. Anyway, that's. I think that's it for this one.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna start rambling on.
It's fun though.
It was a fun revisit. It still, I think, holds up.
Very much so. Very much one of the better episodes of season 2 of somewhat mostly strong. That season was. I remember that was the whole thing was like there's a lot of strong episodes, but that's one of the stronger ones. But we'll go ahead and move on. Well, I guess to the last bit because we've got some fan content stuff, namely one thing because you got no music.
Yeah, I mean, there's like I said before, there's good stuff that comes out, but it's at the point where it doesn't grab me as much, which I suppose is one of those. It can be a good thing in some ways. The bar has been raised.
Yeah, the bar has been raised, and now this isn't something that a year ago would have been an instant feature is now kind of.
It's like that's like the expectation now.
Yep,
so
I know about the whole bar. For me, no new fanfics. There was one I thought about, but then it's like the problem is it's like it feels like a piece of a story because it was never. It was just someone was inspired by someone else, and then
right.
Never really got. And then the author even said, I never really. I don't have intention of continuing this. I just had this in my head and wanted to get it out.
Right. Yeah, I see that a bit.
But an update happened. Out of nowhere update.
Out of nowhere.
The worst of all possible worlds got an extra, I guess, epilogue / sequel hook chapter.
Yeah.
And if you remember this is the one where Sunset's chasing after. Yeah, it's kind of this weird chasing after Twilight, Starlight, going through the different worlds thing afterwards, and having to fix them. I guess the being a quantum leap, kind of almost quantum leap.
Quantum leap. Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically got an epilogue chapter where a bunch of discords kind of all get together and look at a world where Sunset didn't visit, and it winds up being a very intense one. It was like, we're not sure. So they're like, we're kind of like, we're not sure Sunset would have actually been able to figure this one out. Because, it's the whole something went really wrong in this world, whatever it was.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. This is a world where something went really dreadfully wrong. Like, basically, the implications, everything outside of Equestria is just gone.
Yeah.
And the Equestria is being protected by some magic bubble, and there's no more sun or anything because of this. And everyone's just kind of assuming one day everything will be back to normal, and it's just not.
Yeah. Celestia gone.
Yeah, Celestia's
no mention of Luna.
Yeah, Celestia's gone. No,
Cadence is there.
Yeah, Cadence is trying to, I guess, rule because and
it's also another version of the Flim Flam in charge.
Yeah.
So something went really wrong.
Yep, very wrong.
It gets kind of gruesome too.
Yep, a little bit. and then we kind of like, the Discords talk amongst themselves again, and then it's kind of a Yeah, it's just kind of a weird. It's kind of a pseudo sequel hook of sorts. There's apparently another one. Apparently, there's another story that uses this sunset, which is unrelated.
Yeah.
I found out. I did not know this, and I now have marked it for read it later. I haven't looked at it yet, but yeah, it's weird. It's like it has nothing to do with this fic, but it's the same world. One of those things.
Yeah, one of those things.
So yeah, it's kind of an interesting chapter for sure. It's just so disconnected in a way from the rest of the story.
Yep.
It's also a very long one, 13,000 words.
It was a long one.
But yeah, it's a very interesting thing, but it's like it's almost could be its own standalone story in its own right. Whether you remove the intro and outro stuff with the discords, and you pretty much have your own weird standalone story.
Yep.
Although it's only a snippet still. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. Apparently there might be a sequel. There might not be. It depends on I guess apparently the authors wants to gauge reaction to this stuff. So we'll see. And that's it.
That's it. That's all we got.
That's all this stuff. Hope you enjoyed. And if you did, you could check out other episodes. We're on pony411.libsyn.com. Again, spelled L-I-B-S-Y-N. You can check that out and subscribe to the RSS feed there if you want to keep up with all the episodes and past and future. You could also find us on the other places, many other places, which most of which are linked up at the top. You got Deezer, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, and YouTube. You can search for Pony411 on all of those, and you can subscribe on any of those things and keep up with us as you want. There's also, of course, Ponyville Live. For now. Again, that site is not in good shape, and I'm surprised it's still up at times. But there's also Ponyville FM every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, if you want to keep up there. And of course, on Ponyville FM, there's also live DJs and music, whatnot, pretty much all the time. So you can check those out as well. If you want to contact us, you can do so via email, pony411podcast@gmail.com. If you have questions, comments, criticisms. What do you think of putting your hoof down way back in the day? Did you like it? Did you not? Is there some reason for it? Was it maybe just, look, we're just doing this again? I don't know. You also can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/pony411. Like us there, see new episodes that come out, all that stuff. And of course, there's Twitter. We're at pony411, where we post new episodes as they come out and whatnot. And yeah, sometimes just muse about things pony related. Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Yep. And sometimes we'll retweet our other podcasts because, yeah.
We have another podcast.
Yeah, the anime one, the new to Weeaboo thing, if you want to check that out, and because you're into weeb stuff, like we are, kind of. We just talked about Yuri on Ice. Pretty fun.
It's very gay.
Yes, very gay. We're also talking about Strawberry Panic pretty soon, which is also very gay.
In a different way, yes.
Very different way, yes. So that's it for those. You can check our personal Twitters. I'm at Nemesis Prime 1, and he's at Alca7raz _@ at the end. I haven't actually been tweeting a lot lately.
Surprising.
Yeah, I just haven't had reviews or anything, and I keep thinking about stuff to tweet, but it's always like in the middle of the night. It's like, should I really tweet this in the middle of the night? This is weird.
No one will see it.
Oh, that one thing I did tweet was I was actually surprised that Kashi Mashi Girl Meets Girl actually popped up on Retro Crush recently.
Yeah.
I was like, what? That's here now. Okay.
All right.
Cool. More people would see it now.
Hopefully.
Maybe I'll have an experience. I don't know. I'm not you. Yeah, so that's it for this episode. Tune in next time, which should be in July, barring any weirdness. Yeah, it should be July. Tune in then. We'll talk about something else pony related, and we'll be still counting down towards September, which is when the G5 finally hits.
When the G5 hits, not when the 5G hits.
Exactly. 5G's already hit because we got our
shots. We got the 5G.
We got 5G. Yeah. Shame on you. I know you specifically, you the person posting it on the little network. Shame on you. That's gross. But yeah, that's it for that. And we'll see you next time. But until then, please, pony responsibly. Goodbye.
See ya.